Rate reviews. If you're a service provider, particularly a professional services provider, and you enter into contracts that have terms that are longer than 1 year, so maybe 2 years or 5 years, you need to think about how you are going to agree an increase to your rates during the term of the contract. I have 4 things that I want to talk about with regard to rate reviews today. Firstly, you need to understand what the frequency and any trigger of the rate review is going to be. So very commonly that is going to be annually on the anniversary of the contract. If your rates go up quicker than that, then you need to make sure that the frequency of review is shorter. Secondly, you need to make sure you observe any notice requirements. Sometimes there'll be quite a long notice requirement for rate reviews, as much as 2 to 3 months. And you need to make sure that you have made a note of that so you don't miss the deadline for telling your client that you're going to increase your rates. Third thing I want to talk about is the formula for the rate review. I see this done most commonly with CPI, market rates, a fixed percentage, or by agreement. Personally, I think you're better off with an objective mechanism. So in my view, CPI or fixed percentage are least likely to attract disagreement about how the rates are going to be reviewed. For some industries, market rate is great. There are industry benchmarks. If there's no industry benchmarks for you, that might not be the best mechanism. The fourth thing I want to say is when you are agreeing that mechanism before you enter into the contract, make sure you're specific about it. For example, if you're going with CPI, is it going to be the weighted average of all of Australia, or are you going to choose the All Groups Index for one capital city like Perth? Because the inflation rate in Western Australia might be quite different to the inflation rate in other jurisdictions. Also, you might want to think about, what kind of average are you going to use? Is it just going to be 1 quarter, or is it going to be 4 quarters? The more specific you are, the more likely you're going to be able to agree a rate review that suits your business and keeps your client happy.